The internet has shrunk music revenues while the game industry has exploded. Music legend Ted Cohen gives us a history lesson.
How you doing? So this is my 30th year at South by. I was listening to whoever was talking about the fact that they felt at 40 that they were millennial, they were getting too old. Not even an issue right now. I turned 76 this year, and I'm still somewhere in my 40s. I'm going to catch up to this. We've been through this. Is my fourth or fifth. This is my fifth, and he still lets me come back. So I ended up going to pre-med. I'm going to catch up here real quick. I ended up going to Ithaca College in 1967 in pre-med. 2 weeks later, I was in communications. 4 years later, I'm working at Warner Music. And 5 years later, I run into Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak at CES in Las Vegas. No, I'm sorry, in Chicago, where they're announcing the Apple computer. I ended up being the liaison between the Warner Music Group and Atari, and started playing with games and music, and discovered how stupid we all were. Let's take 2000 as the year, and I'm already way behind. In 2000, the game industry was at 36 million. In 2000, the music industry was at 36 million. Music plays a critical role in gaming, yet the music industry could not figure out why they weren't connecting with their fans, because there was no relationship. The relationship was greatly studied, but it wasn't implemented. I remember sitting in a meeting in 1982 saying, what if we put an 800 number on our albums and people could call in and they could sign up? And they went, no, we're never gonna do that. Music is a lean back experience. The fans know where we are, we know where they are. But actually we didn't. What we had was a situation where gamers were active, music fans were passive. The music companies had no idea who their audience was. The gaming companies went out of their way, companies like EA went out of their way to figure out who their fans were. This is very true. I cannot overemphasize how little the music industry knows about, even when, Lady Gaga has a new album this week. I doubt if there's any direct connection, any meaningful connection between what, Universal is selling and who they're selling it to, whether it's streaming on Spotify. Like I said, these relationships originally were with the music company, the retailers. Then they ended up being now with the streaming services. At the same time, we had things like E3 and gaming, GDC, things like that, where the fans were, welcomed, the fans were, identified. In gaming, you have things like Fortnite, where people are building things. You have, add-ons. In music, when you copy something, you get sued. So, we're back to 2023. The music business is still at $30 billion. That's after recovering from, the file sharing era, et cetera. The gaming business is now at $180 billion. It's incredible what has happened. So we're at 180 billion, it's a 6x growth. The music business is basically just recovered from Napster. It's ridiculous. Meanwhile, we have a situation where music and gaming are completely tied by one factor, emotion. Gamers are emotional, music is emotional, and yet the way it's approached by the two industries is so diametrically opposed. The first thought when anything new comes along is litigation. That's how innovation is greeted in the music industry. In gaming, it's greeted through, how can we reward the fans? How can we acknowledge them? How do we connect? I'll leave it with this. This is a very good friend of mine. His name is Steve Schnur. He's the music executive at Electronic Arts. He's the guy who said, what if we put cool music into games? Brand new music that's never been released before. Let's see what happened. When I asked him about what did you learn from being in the music business before you went into games, he said, I learned to do, my takeaway was do nothing I did in music and do something different.